We've been talking about the theme of service, whether serving in our community or internally within the church. And this brought a question to mind. What hinders us from serving by either committing too much or too little? And I think a partial answer is found in the word boundary. Dr. Henry Cloud, he put it this way. He said, boundaries help us keep the good in and the bad out. Setting boundaries inevitably involves taking responsibility for your choices. You are the one who makes them. You are the one who must live with their consequences. Boundaries is like ownership. Ownership helps us determine who controls it. And we can all recognize things about serving. Serving others is a good thing. Being an active member versus passive participant is a good thing. Showing the love of Christ by the work of our hands is a good thing. But just because we can all agree these are good things doesn't mean these aren't hindered by our different boundary issues. And some of them can come around our time, our value, and our goals. And Paul says it this way in Titus. This is a trustworthy saying, and I want you to stress these things so that those who have trusted God may be careful to devote themselves to doing what is good. These things are excellent and profitable for everyone. Be careful to devote yourself to doing what is good. And let's look at boundaries and see how it relates to time, value, and goal. Time. I found the most common reason I probably didn't serve a lot or serve too much was because I overcommitted or undercommitted. And I approached it as an everything or nothing kind of stance. A proper boundary here helps me have permission to look at time realistically. We all have the same amount of time. But part of this is we need to take the time to look at time. And practically how we can do this is we can make a list and rank it from most time to least time and write down all the activities you find yourself doing and give them a value of how much time are you going on here. And once we realize this list, we can move it into our next one, which is values. So what do we value? We can say and determine we value a lot of things, but the reality is a value is what takes your focus and what takes your time. The problem with not having a good boundary is that all of these things have equal value. Taking your kids to karate class becomes the same as vacuuming the car, which becomes the same as that work project, which is the same as going to church, which is the same as going on date night. And if we don't realize what we value by our focus and time, we get overwhelmed very quickly. The reality is not all things are made equal. Taking your child to karate practice is not the same as teaching your child not to be a bully with karate. Just ask yourself, would you prefer a bully who is good at karate or a protector who is bad at karate? Both of these examples show a value system of where we focus, strong or helpful. Where we commit our time in our weekly rhythms or activities of serving others reveals a value system about ourselves and our own personal life and anyone watching. And this reveals our goals. What does this schedule lead to? Make a list of all these activities and take time, whether in the home or outside. And some of these you can control, like how many hours of video games you give a week, or how many hours you have to work. If you were to decide how valuable this activity is, does it actually match the time you spend with it? Remember what Paul was saying. He said, be careful to devote yourself to what is good. These activities, they may be fun, they may be productive, they may be interesting, but are they actually good? Are they building up your family towards Christ? Are they strengthening the kingdom? Are they connecting you with community and setting an example? Not everything has the same value. And we can all say we have a goal, but until we commit to that goal with action, it's just a fantasy. To summarize, we need boundaries so we can learn how to say yes to the things worth saying yes to and say no to the things that don't bring value. We can't have it all. Make a list of what takes up your time. Determine the value of each of these things and move that towards a goal of the truly good of the service of Christ through serving one another.